my name is Amy. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be part one of at least a two-part series showing you the renovation and remodel of my new sewing space. My new sewing space used to be our theater slash family room, and Todd and I both had our PCs in here to play games or work or do whatever we needed to. Todd figured out that he was only using a small corner of this room, which is 20 by 24. And I and my sewing supplies were crammed into a tiny little 10 by 11 room. So he thought maybe we should swap rooms. I was a little bit shocked that he suggested it, but I jumped on the chance. We've spent the last 3 weeks working on the room, remodeling it, repainting, and getting it ready to move my stuff in. And most of my stuff is in here. It's not organized, but this video is going to walk you through the process of the renovation and moving my stuff in. And the next video will be me getting it all put away and unloaded and organized. If possible, I will do a third video because we're going to be building some storage units that aren't here yet and they won't be built for another month or two. So we'll see how that goes. At any rate, I hope you enjoy. That is the east wall. Those cabinets will stay. And the screen will stay so that we can still watch movies in here. This is the south wall. All of this stuff is Todd's and it'll go into the sewing room. This is the east wall. My computer, I'm gonna get a smaller desk, will stay out here. This is my work computer, so this isn't permanent, but it has to stay out here for now. That's the AC in the heater unit. Window, the man door I just came in the north wall, those cabinets have to stay in there. They have paint in them. And then the roll-up door, which will also stay. I didn't film any of the unloading of the other rooms and packing up of the sewing room because it all happened in a really quick hurry. So this is the current state of my current sewing room. All my machines are packed up. Pip's crate, some of my sewing stuff there. I haven't taken anything out of the closet yet because we just needed it to be functional so that Todd could move his office in here. So he's in here now. Eventually all the rest of this stuff will be gone and there will be a couch in here. For now, we cleaned the bed out of the spare room and this is where I'm working. Wow, that's bright. So I just brought in the last few things from the theater so it doesn't look functional right now, but it has been working for me all week. And then Liam's crate is still there. And fabric stash. It's lovely. And this is the current state of the theater. We almost have it empty. The screen's gonna come off the wall, but it'll have to stay in here while we work. Gotta get Todd's firefly pictures off the wall. Anyway, I love his firefly posters, but he's gonna put those in the office. And yeah, so it's just about cleaned out. I'm getting ready to take all of the plates off the walls and start washing the walls so that we can paint.
The ceilings in our theater are 8 feet high, so I was trying to figure out a way to wash them that didn't involve getting up and down a ladder 1,000 times. And so I just got a little sponge mop and used it to reach the high points, and it also kept me from having to bend over or kneeling on the ground quite a bit so that it didn't hurt my back or my legs. Our friend Chris came over and helped us just about every night, and he did the majority of the primer painting and I did all of the cutting in.
We are officially several days into the remodel if you count boxing everything up and moving it out into the storage trailer. But as far as actually working, we're just getting ready to start day 2. Yesterday, we got all the holes patched, things taped off, and we started priming. And we're priming this super light gray color that well, I guess it's not super light gray. This gray color you can see behind me, and then we will paint the actual color.
While I finished working on cutting in the primer, Chris finished the first coat of the ceiling, and Todd started doing the pink wall. His parents came over and helped us that night too, and we were able to get just about the entire first coat of color done.
So it's day 3, I think. I think I said yesterday was day 2. Officially, it's the second full day of working on my new sewing room. And yesterday we finished up priming and we got the first coat of all the colors on except right there and right there, which is going to be the same colors right there, which you can't tell very well, but it's a super pale gray. The cabinets have all been painted a coat, and then this wall, you can kind of tell the difference, is like a super pale blush pink. Anyway, so that's where we are. I'm getting ready to do the second coat of the ceiling cut-in, and then I'll do the second coat of the ceiling before we do the final cut-in and second coats of the colors.
I also forgot that half of the ceiling still needed its first coat of paint, so I did that before I did anything else. And I also did the first coat on the cabinet doors. My hands are really shaky and I don't have the patience to do careful cutting in. So Harley came and helped me that night, and she did the cutting in of the colors at the top of the ceilings while I did the second coat of the colors.
The painting is all done. Things are just drying now. We gotta let them cure for 24 hours before we can put the outlet plates back on and the doors back on the cabinets. This is a much better representation of the color than what I recorded earlier. This is where we store our household paint because our shed freezes, and since paint can't freeze, it's the best place for it, and it's gonna continue to be stored in here.
After we let the paint cure for 24 hours, I started putting the outlet covers back in place, and Todd put the hardware back on the cabinet doors and put the doors back on the cupboards. We had taken the reflectors out of the can lights while we painted, so after the outlet covers were back on, we put them back, and then we spent some time removing all of the tape. We were going to take a night off, which is why I'm in my pajamas, but Todd's parents stopped by, and Todd and Glenn and Anita all were gung-ho to tear up the floor, and since it was pretty easy, we went ahead and did that. Before we could lay the new flooring, it needed to be swept and vacuumed really well to make sure that any little bits and pieces were picked up. And then Todd and I moved all of the flooring from our shed into the theater so that it could acclimate to the temperature. This was a really tough job. It's heavy. Later that night, Todd and I started laying out the floor. We got the corners all squared up and made sure that we had a straight line to start from. And we laid the first few rows. Harley came in and helped us when she got off work.
Well, we're back in the old theater, if you can hear it echoing, and the new sewing room. I can't remember the last time I checked in what I said, but all the painting is done, cabinets are put back together, the doors are put back on them, the outlet covers are back on, and everything is hooked back up so that we have full use of the room. Because now we are starting the flooring. I know I didn't video before we took up the old floor, but you can kind of see we just had those, and Pip, we had those EVA foam squares in a checkerboard pattern on the floor. And they were really easy to tear up. We just had them laid down with like super heavy duty double sticky tape. And last night, Todd and I and Harley laid the first 4 rows of the flooring so that we had a nice straight row to start from tonight when all of our friends get here. So let me turn the camera around and I will show you the new floor. So that's what it looks like. It's kind of rustic, wood looking. The wall on the right-hand side is gray and the wall on the left-hand side is the blush. So that's the new floor, and we are all set up here. We've got planks laid out ready to go. I just need to put glue on them. It is 4 o'clock and everybody should be here in about a half an hour. I would be really surprised if we didn't get finished tonight because this flooring is really easy to lay. You just put glue on the back side of the flooring and let it flash, so just till it turns dull, and then lay it down in place.
We had a great crew that came and helped us lay the floor. My dad, both of Todd's parents, and our friends Tim and Chris came and helped. We had a pretty great system. Anita and I were gluing the backs of the planks, and we had people running them back and forth to be laid. And then Glenn and my dad were taking turns cutting them. We were able to get all but the last 5 rows done that first night. The last 5 rows needed a little bit of a different installation process because they were a higher traffic area. And instead of putting the glue on the back of the planks, we put the glue directly on the floor in a very thick layer. And then we waited for it to flash and laid the planks directly on the glue. Todd and I did take the time before we put the glue down to lay out each row and get it cut, and then we just laid them in order further back on the floor that was already installed so that we could just put them in place where they needed to go. Todd's brother Troy and once again our friend Chris came over and helped with all the heavy lifting. They moved all of the stuff we had stored in the trailer to the rooms it belonged in, and then moved all of my sewing furniture out into my new sewing space. Unpacking and getting organized was really daunting to me at first because there was just so much to do. But once I got a few things unpacked and my sewing machines out, it made it a lot easier for me to do just one small thing at a time. And once I was able to open up my big sewing table and have a surface to use to sort things, that made it a lot easier. I like how Todd came out to visit and just decided to relax on the couch for a little bit with Pip. It was nice to have some company while I was unpacking. It was really nice to get my work computer set back up out here because I'm able to concentrate better out here than I am in the house. Little by little, it started coming together and being a little bit more of a functional space.
Hello there. The last time I checked in, we were just getting ready to lay the floor, and it's all done. We have added the trim back to the baseboards and moved the majority of my stuff in here. I still have a closet to empty out, but I need to get stuff put away before I can bring that in. So it's a disaster, a complete disaster in here. I am trying to get stuff put away and I am completely overwhelmed. So I will turn the camera around and show that to you. So there's the door. I do have my machine set up, but this one is not plugged in yet because I need to figure out how to run power to it without having cords all over the floor. My work computer is set up here. This plastic table will eventually be replaced with a 24-inch by 6-foot table that we have the tabletop and my dad is making the legs. And then there's a second one that will go along this wall. And it will have the Roku and the stereo and surround sound system on it for the projector and the screen. I've got my couch, got the puppers. They're enjoying being in here. Although Pip's a little bit annoyed at me today because I'm making her stay in her bed while I move things around. Liam's just old and deaf and happy. All this stuff still needs put away. The hutch is mostly put away, and I used to store fabric in these two side pieces, but I was kind of hoping not to do that anymore, so I haven't put it back there for two reasons. I'd like to put other things there, like books or whatever else. I tried to put my costuming books there, but they are too tall, so they're in the bottom shelves down below, behind that chair, and there's a door in front of them. I don't have anything in the cabinets yet, but I'm hoping to store my other crafting supplies in there, paint and canvas and those kind of things. This cupboard is going to have all my photography equipment in it. And that is my knit fabric stash. I really, really am not looking forward to going through that and deciding what to get rid of, but I think that is more fabric than I will ever use in my entire life, so it definitely needs to be reduced. This is the cutting table my dad made me. that I've been using in my old sewing room, keeping it in here, but he is also making me a new table, and we ordered a solid tabletop that is 4 feet by 8 feet. So my dad is making the base for that tabletop. Our 3D printer is gonna go here on these two tables. Now that I'm mostly moved in here, I thought I would do a little bit of a tour before I conclude this video just to show you where I'm at. I have gone through my knit fabric stash. These 4 red tubs here are now fabric that I have listed for sale. And I am in the process of going through my woven stash. That's what's on my table and down there. I've already gone through all my wools and silks, and I'm finished with those. Wow, I'm shaky today. Sorry for that. I do have my sewing machine set up to embroider right now, my serger and cover stitch, and my backup machine. My dad made these tables for me. He delivered them today. So they are going to go over here in this corner. They're going to take a place of that plastic table that my work computer is sitting on. And the other one is going to go here. And one set of drawers will go under each table. The sofa is over there. Once these tables are in place, all of this stuff will go away because that's where it will be. And also I have painted and put the fridge stand in place. So that's about where we're at. We have my embroidery thread hung, the TV, and also some artwork. Even though my sewing room isn't completely put away and organized yet, I absolutely love my new space. There's enough room that I can work on my cutting table and work at a computer and work at a sewing machine without ever having to shuffle things around or put things away. And I really like being able to see everything. I am hoping that with this larger space where I can see everything, I'm going to stay more organized. Anyway, I hope you love it as much as I do. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you would like to see more content from me, please subscribe. Also, if you would like YouTube to let you know whenever I upload a video, hit the little bell. Thanks for watching.